So, how exactly does your net worth stack up to others your age, and why should you even care? Today, we're tackling one of the most popular topics in personal finance, the average net worth by age. But more importantly, we're going to look at what's really going on behind the numbers and share some practical ways you can boost yours no matter where you stand. This isn't about comparing yourself to billionaires or your neighbors. It's about checking in on your financial health, seeing what typically happens at different life stages, and discovering how to move forward confidently. Let's jump right in. Net worth is a quick snapshot of your financial situation. It's simply the total of everything you own, like cash, investments, real estate, cars, and anything else of value, minus all the debts you owe, including credit cards, car loans, student loans, and mortgages. If the number is positive, great, you have more assets than liabilities. If it's negative, it might mean you have more debt than assets. But don't worry, negative net worth isn't the end of the world. At certain points in life, it's actually pretty common. The reason net worth is worth tracking is simple. It shows you the bigger picture, beyond what's in your paycheck every month. A high income might look good on paper, but if your debt is sky high and your savings are practically zero, your net worth might not be very impressive. On the flip side, maybe you don't earn a ton, but you live frugally, save, and invest steadily. Over time, you can see that net worth creep up. Ready to see how others in your age range typically do? Let's break it down, decade by decade. Let's start with the 20s. This is the launch pad for most people's financial journey. Often, you're just out of college or starting your first full-time job. In many cases, if you went to college, you might have student loan debt, and that can weigh heavily on your net worth at this stage. It's not uncommon to have a net worth that's hovering around zero, or even dipping into the negatives. But here's the silver lining. You've got time on your side. Think of your 20s as your financial setup decade. Laying groundwork now can turbocharge your finances in the years ahead. Start small. Contribute a bit to your company's retirement plan, or open a Roth IRA if you can. Even if the balances are tiny, it's the habit that counts. And if you've got student loans, try to manage them aggressively, refinance if it saves you on interest, or pay extra each month if that's feasible. In your 20s, every step you take to shrink debt and grow savings can have an outsized effect down the road. As you roll into your 30s, you might see a noticeable jump in your net worth, particularly if you've been working steadily and have started putting money away in a 401k or other investment accounts. Some people buy a first home during this time, which can help grow net worth if that property appreciates and you keep chipping away at the mortgage. That said, your 30s can also come with big life events, marriage, kids, career shifts, or all three at once. While these can boost your net worth if you and a partner combine resources, they can also add costs like childcare, a larger living space, or moving for a new job. The main tip here? Be mindful of lifestyle creep. When your income goes up, it's tempting to match it with bigger spending. If you can avoid that trap and keep living below your means, you'll see your net worth rise quickly. The 40s, sometimes considered the prime earning years. Many individuals see their salaries peak or at least get into a pretty comfortable range. If you've been contributing steadily to retirement plans, your investments might be starting to show real growth. Home equity could be building too. But this can also be the decade of real financial stress. Kids might be hitting their expensive teenage years, college tuition is on the horizon, and aging parents may need financial or medical support. Your 40s can feel like a tight squeeze between caring for the generation ahead of you and the one behind you. A common pitfall here is forgetting to keep your own future a priority. It's noble to help with your kids' or parents' expenses, but don't neglect your retirement accounts. Otherwise, you might wake up in your late 40s or early 50s and realize you're way behind. The best approach, stay balanced. Budget carefully for family needs while still paying yourself first. Automate those retirement contributions so you're growing your net worth consistently. In your 50s, retirement starts to feel a lot more real. You might have 10 to 15 years left in the workforce, or you might be dreaming of an early exit. This is the time when a lot of people really push their net worth higher if they can. Your mortgage may be on the decline if you've been paying on it for a while, and any investments you've had since your 20s or 30s could have benefited from decades of growth. However, some may discover they're behind on savings at this stage. If you're in that boat, don't panic. There are catch-up contributions allowed in many retirement accounts, which let you put extra money aside specifically in your 50s. If you still have debt, particularly high interest debt, paying that down should be front and center. And if you're on track, fantastic. This is a great decade to maintain momentum so you can enter your 60s on solid ground. By the time you hit your 60s, your net worth often reaches its peak, right before you start drawing down your assets in retirement. Investments, home equity, and any business ventures you might have pursued can all play into a much bigger number than you had in your younger years. Of course, you may also be winding down your full-time career, which means your regular salary is about to disappear. The big question is, does your nest egg fully support your lifestyle? If so, you're in great shape. If not, you might decide to keep working part-time or postpone retirement a few years to solidify your finances. Keep in mind, retirement isn't just about the total number you've saved. It's also about controlling expenses and ensuring you have adequate healthcare. Those costs can surge as we age. But if you've done well in earlier decades, paying down debt, investing thoughtfully, your 60s can be a wonderful time to enjoy the fruits of that labor. So, what if you're looking at your own finances and feeling a bit discouraged? Or maybe you're already ahead of the game and want to keep climbing. Here are some strategies that people use at every stage of life to pump up that net worth. 1. Pay down debts quickly. High interest credit card balances or personal loans can be a massive drag on your net worth. Every dollar you put toward eliminating that interest is a dollar that can eventually go towards savings or investments. Attack the highest interest debts first and free up your money to work for you, not against you. 2. Make investing a habit. You don't need to be a stock market genius. In fact, a lot of people swear by simple index funds or target date retirement funds. The real power is in consistent automatic contributions. Whether it's $50 a month or $500, keep it going. Over time, compound interest can have a magical effect on your balance. 3. Live below your means, but enjoy life. Some folks picture living below your means as never having fun. Not true. It just means being intentional with spending. If you love traveling, find ways to budget for it without blowing your savings on other things that don't matter as much. Identify your priorities, spend there, and cut back on what you don't care about. That discipline can boost your net worth dramatically over the years. 4. Diversify your income. Relying on just one source of income can be risky. Consider starting a side hustle, freelancing, or investing in real estate if it suits your situation. Even small ventures can add up, and every extra dollar can be channeled into your savings or debt repayment. 5. Revisit your plan often. Life changes, and so do your goals. Reevaluate your financial plan at least once a year, or whenever a major life event happens. Did you switch jobs, get married, have a baby, inherit some money? All of these can shift your strategy. Adjusting as you go keeps you on track to grow your net worth steadily. Ultimately, knowing the average net worth by age isn't about comparing yourself to everyone else. It's about having a benchmark to see where you stand and figuring out your next move. If you're behind, that's a push to start paying off high interest debt or finally open that investment account. If you're ahead, keep that momentum going by staying disciplined. Remember, building net worth is a marathon, not a sprint. Some years you'll see a big jump. Maybe you got a raise or your investments performed well. Other years you might feel stuck, especially if life throws a curveball. But the goal is to keep nudging that number in the right direction. Thanks for joining me in this deep dive into the typical net worth numbers for each stage of life. Whether you're just starting out in your 20s or you're fine-tuning your approach in your 60s, there's always a next step to grow your wealth and build the life you want. Here's to steady progress and a brighter financial future, no matter your age. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and consider subscribing. Every week we dive into practical tips on money, investing, and living a more secure life. Got a question or topic you'd like to see next? Drop it in the comments. Until then, keep moving forward on your financial journey.